What if life isn't broken at all? What if the frustration, the emptiness, the confusion is not proof that you are weak, it's not proof that you are lazy or you're failing? What if it's just bad design? And what if you could redesign it like an architect? Redesign it in such a way that it fits a life that actually works well, feels right, and also makes you proud. Today I'm going to show you how. Hello everyone, my name is Olatunde Akinwunmi. Welcome to the Brick by Brick broadcast. I created the V.I.T.A.L Architecture System, which is a framework basically that helps high performers, individuals, organizations close the gap between the life that they're living and the life that truly fits them, so that confusion turns into confident, purpose-driven momentum. And here's my story, right? I didn't create this system because I had it all figured out. In fact, I built it because I was drowning. I was seriously drowning. Life was tough. And back in 2009, I almost ended my life. Thankful I'm here. On the outside, I looked fine, confident, capable, and people looked at me and thought everything was well. But on the inside, I was falling apart. What stopped me actually from, moving ahead with my plan was not strength. In fact, it was weakness. I simply didn't have what it took. There was no courage to follow it through. And strangely, the lack of courage saved me. It forced me to begin to ask questions. Why does life look good but feel so wrong? That question was the seed. I began to search, I began to read, I began to put pieces together, to research, put all the fragments. And slowly I began to realize that the difference between a life that is collapsing and the life that is flourishing is not necessarily about willpower, it's not about luck, it's not about talent. It's architecture. And once I discovered that secret, I began to live it. I began to, design my life in the way that I could at that time, I began to, find ways to be able to be intentional about the things that I was doing. And that discovery carried me from despair to building a meaningful life, a life that I consider meaningful. I got married and I'm building a family, and it's not just good, it feels good. And since 2020, I've helped hundreds of people to do the same thing. I've, had various counseling sessions. I've met hundreds of people. And the truth is that most people are not lazy. Most people are not untalented. Most people are not just, it's not that they don't have skills or ability. Most people are just trapped inside a broken model of living. That's why success feels empty. That's why even despite all of the moves that they're making, all of the things that they're doing, it just still feels empty. And that's why achievement, by itself is hollow. Life isn't broken, it's just badly designed. But the good news is that you can design it to change. You can change the design, right? Listening to me today are four sets of people, and I would go to categorize life into four zones. Think about it, like the four zones of life. And the first zone is the survival zone. Life is scattered, you keep hustling, grinding, just doing a lot of things. The mindset here is that I'm barely keeping up, right? But the goal actually should be to escape this kind of chaos. The second zone is the awareness zone, right? You realize that something is off, you sense the gap between the life you want and, the one you are living, right? In your mind, you say there has to be more, there has to be more. You crave that, that sense that what I'm doing is not enough, there has to be more, right? Your goal here should be to define the disconnect. What exactly is the ideal life, and what exactly is the life that I'm living, and how do I bridge this gap, right? Which moves me to the design zone. The design zone is the zone of alignment. You began to design a life where your values, your voice, your habits, all of those things match who you really are, right? And now you begin to live in sync with what truly matters to you. You're building a life that is coherent, is a life by design. But that's not the ultimate. The ultimate is the zone of mastery. It's called the legacy zone, where you are no longer just chasing fulfillment by itself. You are generating it through the actions that you are taking. You're living a life that is a custom-built system of, clarity, of contribution, right? And your work has a lot of impact. You are living a life that is architecturally scaled for legacy, for peace, for power, right? And that brings me now to the 5 pillars of the V.I.T.A.L Architecture System, or what I call 5 force multipliers, right? These 5 pillars are what make the V.I.T.A.L system what it is, right? It moves you from a place of survival to a place of mastery, right? And you require blueprints. That's why I actually built this system, so that it's something that you can replicate. It's something that you can predict. And the 5 core steps, or the 5 force multipliers are: number 1, design your core. Get clear about what matters most to you, right? Stop living your life according to other people's expectations. And the second one will be to design your growth, right? You need to unpack your potential and nurture your gifts, your character. If you don't grow, life stays small. And also your dreams, all of the things that your aspirations. The third one is to design your circle, because trust me, you need quality relationships. The right people help you to grow faster, to love deeper, stay strong when life gets tough. So you need to be intentional about designing your relationships. And number 4 is to design your contribution. You turn your ideas, your strategies, your skills, your talents into value that you can give to the world. You were not just born to consume, you were born to contribute. Okay? And then finally, design your rhythm. You need to orchestrate a life that flows like music. All of the harmonies, all of the things are working in sync. You have a peaceful, balanced, energizing life. But this is not just motivational stuff. It's structured. It's an intentional life by design. You are designing your life. It's not motivation. Now, here's the parts that most people miss. You don't have to figure all of this out alone, like I did, trying to do it all by myself, right? That's why I created the Sovereign Order of V.I.T.A.L Architects. It's a community of builders, of people who, they're tired of just chasing more. They're tired of just living a fragmented life, and they're ready to design life intentionally. They're ready to do things differently and better. When you join, you gain clarity. You finally understand what truly matters and what doesn't. There's alignment. You're designing a life that fits your values, not just your calendar, right? And then you also have the tools, the frameworks, accountability, of course, to make real progress, because there are other people going in the same direction as you. And trust me, the community, that high caliber peers of people who are not just plain small, will be nudging you in the right direction. And you know that you are building, legacy, the ability to be able to do things that outlives you, not just things for the now, right? This is where high achievers stop faking success and start living sovereign lives, anchored, aligned, activated, right? So I'm calling you and I'm inviting you to join. You have 3 choices from here, right? You can continue where you are doing what you are doing and stay on the same path. You already know where that path would lead to, right? You can also dabble in, try pieces of something, read a book somewhere, take a course somewhere, and slowly find your path. Or you can choose mastery and step into the Sovereign Order of V.I.T.A.L Architects and redesign your life with intention. If you are ready to do that, and I trust that you will, fill the form in the link below, and I'll send you the full details personally. The era of chasing fulfillment through achievement is over. This is the age of life architecture, where meaning isn't just stumbled into, it is designed on purpose. Life shouldn't just be broken. It isn't broken at all. It's just badly designed. And the fix is in your hands. So if you're joining me for the first time, this is the Brick by Brick broadcast. I'd like you to like this video, share it with your friends, but above all, subscribe to this channel so that you can get more videos like this. Thank you very much, and see you in our next episode.
This now Brick by Brick broadcast. Live your full potential on purpose.